Welcome to the Bull Sense Gaming Podcast, PS2 edition, where we focusing only on the games that were released in the United States. Now, I ain't gonna hold y'all. I could have sketched this video out a while ago, but the goal was at first was to get every game that I used to play as a child. That included a lot of racing games, none more notorious in my life than Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. Boy, it was just like the feel of racing that this game gave me as a kid, y'all. Like pressing the turbo button on any racing game, that intensity that you feel that at all times on Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition Remix. Now there are other racing games that have better mechanics, obviously. But I don't know, it's just something about that Dub 3 remix that had my household in a chokehold.
Pause.
A lot of games did, for real. Wrestling games, that SmackDown Here Comes the Pain, which my opinion is the greatest wrestling game ever created. SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, which my opinion is the greatest SmackDown vs. Raw. I will say I did enjoy the story designer element that they gave you in 2010 and 11. There's a direct correlation as to why the last time I bought a WWE game was 2011, which was the last time they had the store designer mode. And a writer like me, like that was really nice to be able to create my own, you feel me, dream scenarios or whatever. Man, you lost my eyes that day, WWE. You never lost my heart, but you lost my eyes. Get your eyes back. My eyes back? I spent long nights causing trouble and hiding in lockers on Bully and feeling like a G-unit soldier rolling around with Tony Yayo and Young Buck and them boys, 50 Cent Bulletproof. I was kicking ass with Eddie Gordo's low kicks and King's broken ass back kick. Hey, y'all don't hear me recording in here? Man, on Tekken Tag, man, I was playing Sonic Heroes and really only using Black Air Force Knuckles, for real. I used to draw him a lot back in the day. Man, I was playing Def Jam Fight for New York and getting stumped out by Fat Joe's sturdy ass, man. Nigga was strong as hell for no reason, for real. It was slow, but when he hit you, that health bar started dwindling fast, I'm telling you. And them 007 games was tough growing up. My brothers and I played a lot of 4-screen multiplayer on GoldenEye. The real still remember where them golden pistols was hidden in the bathroom. The real still remember that. If you know, you know. And another one of the games that I had to get that I used to play as a kid was Crash Bandicoot Wrath of Cortex. Really, because as a kid I could never get past that second boss, bro. So there was like 3 other levels of maps that I never played as a kid because I could never get past the second boss. And it was like the one where you had to jump or double jump or slide over his attack. Man, that game had me trying to crumble the controller in my hand. No cap. It was only second to wiggling them joysticks trying to hold down Radix so that Piccolo can shoot his special nigga beam. Man, to this day, I still have nightmares about that shit. Like, to this day. So look, when I started collecting these PlayStation 2 games, I decided I wasn't going to spend more than $10, $15 for a game. And that didn't hold weight long at all, especially when I understood I needed to get Def Jam Fight for New York. That whole shoot for like $100 plus. It's really shoot for like $150 plus. So I elected to start with Grand Theft Auto Vice City stories, and I followed that up with the most criminally underrated Dragon Ball Z game, Dragon Ball Z Budokai 3. Everybody want to talk about Tenkaichi 2 and 3 for their character selections and all the outfits and shit, but all I'm gonna say is Budokai 3 is the purest form of Vegeta. I nicknamed that hoe Majin Budokai 3. Majin. And it didn't take long for me to stop wanting to spend my own hard-working money purchasing these PlayStation 2 games. So that's when I decided I was just gonna pick up some mobile orders and use that accumulated money. And like, yeah, I'm kind of working for the money, but not really. Like, delivering food had already been something I did when I was bored. So at this point, I don't know if DoorDash and Uber Eats wants to sponsor me or I should sponsor them for their hand in my collection reaching over 500 PlayStation 2 games. As my collection grew, I then decided I would complete any game series that I have. So that means every James Bond game, every Mortal Kombat, Resident Evil, because maybe Resident Evil 4 was only on my list, but now I gotta get the Outbreak File 2 and Dead Aim and all the rest of them. And at that point, it's like, shit, I might as well finish the list. I'm so close, you know? But recently, I came to realize that I am still slowly adding games to this list. So it was like I was gonna finish the list and then I'll start putting these videos out. But at this point, I'm never gonna put these videos out. There are 1,850 games that came out on the PlayStation 2 in North America. I don't know where I'm gonna stop at. It's obviously not gonna be at 1,850 because I'm not getting no NHL Blitz and FIFA 06 and whoop de whoop. But I need to put my good belt on and get the percolating. So how did Rio end up with 500 PlayStation 2 games, you ask? Nigga, anxiety. No, for real. It all started at the pawn shop. I was trading in some Tommy from Martin PlayStation 4 controllers. That means they may or may not have worked, and I was surprised by how much money they gave me. And then I got to probing. And what did I see? Double memory card up, HDMI converter on a Thursday afternoon. A PlayStation 2, and that hoe was slim. And they said somebody had just dropped that hoe off. I basically paid $15 for that and the best game ever created for PlayStation 2, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. And before I continue, I have to give a special shout out to Highly Addictive Clothing. The founders of my dolls, Reese and Keys, provided a number of my NBA and NFL Street games, as well as Tekken 4. Or Tekken 5, one of them. But you can Google Highly Addictive Clothing and purchase their gear. I'm rocking a Highly Addictive hoodie as we speak. Anyways, back to you, Jerome. Right, so how did I get to over 500 PlayStation 2 games? Well, I've already told you, anxiety. But also, I wanted to complete every type of game that I have, you know, like every wrestling game. That just made the whole plan way more complicated because there are game series and then there are game genres like first-person shooters and third-person shooters, RPGs, Japanese RPGs, sandbox open world games, platform games like Ratchet and Clank and Spyro, survival horror games, snowboard and skateboard. And you see why I said anxiety now, right? We are here. I have hundreds of games that I've never played before. And there's really only one thing left to do. Throw them hoes on the Bull Sense grill. We're gonna be extremely subjective when we reviewing these games because today's kids, and I know damn well my generation of adults, struggle with our attention span in this rise of social media and TikTok. Therefore, the grilling of these PlayStation 2 games will be based solely on how stimulating the experience is. Ultimately, we're discussing its replay value through the eyes of my ADD community. That value depends on a variety of factors like variety versus repetitive actions, environmental elements, and slow versus fast startups. Can you spam through the story cutscenes and still enjoy the game? Game difficulty level, is it so hard that it'll make you quit? Pause. Are you beating it so easily that you lose interest? Pause. You get what I'm saying. If you don't know, these old video game consoles are best played on a CRT TV or hooked up with CRT HDMI converter cable. As you saw, I'm going to be playing these games on the traditional CRT TV, the Sony Trinitron, the big baby. Right now, I'm recording on Pro Movie because its manual options include down to 24 frames per second. I'm still going through trial and error, figuring out the best way to record on a big baby, so some games definitely come out better than others for sure. I don't turn down blessings, so if you got a better idea, I'm definitely free to take that 2 cents. I want to get these episodes out on a regular basis, but the truth is, a little part of the 9 to 5 keeps your boy alive. Plus, I got 2 4-legged needy kids and one that eats memory cards. I gotta make time to play these games and finish these games. I have to go back and forth to stores. That's a whole nother thing. It's just a lot. I'm going to try to get these episodes out as close to a weekly basis as possible. Now, as you've gazed through a majority of my PlayStation 2 games, be sure to drop a comment if there's a game you used to play or still do play that I have not shown in this video. Being that I haven't played most of these games past the first mission, especially the RPGs, I think that'll spell any thoughts of bias when your favorite game get thrown on the BS grill and you not liking how we cooking. Thank y'all for chopping it up with me, and I'ma see you when the first game gets thrown on the BS grill. This is Rio from the board, signing out like no you can't use my Crunchyroll.